Okay, so welcome everybody. Jazzy, you ready? Okay. Welcome everyone. This afternoon's session, we will be having a peer mentor panel. And so you're gonna have the opportunity to hear some perspectives and get some awesome knowledge from this wonderful peer mentor group up here. I have a couple of questions to ask, so I will be facilitating the panel during this session. And if you have any questions that come up while peer mentors are sharing, please feel free to utilize the chat box. I'll also provide some time at the end for all of you to ask any of the peer mentors questions. So if you have a pen and paper or you have a Google Doc open, feel free to take notes or write down any questions that you may have, and then we'll check in towards the end. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with our panel questions. So these questions are to all the peer mentors, and so you can kind of take turns in answering whatever order we want to go in. But the first question I'd like you to answer is just state your name, your pronouns, your year at St. Mary's College, what your major and minor is, and some possible or potential career paths that you're looking into and why. So whoever would like to go first.
I can go first. So my name is Frida Garcia. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a third year, and I just switched my major to allied health science. Up until last semester, I was pretty determined to go to medical school and become a pediatrician, but now I'm leaning more towards occupational therapy for children. I know that I want to work with kids, and I just kind of came to the conclusion that maybe working in occupational or physical therapy would be more hands-on and something that I would enjoy doing more. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, Frida.
I can go next.
All right.
My name is Alondra Mendoza. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm going to be a rising senior majoring in business administration with a focus in marketing and a minor in communications. Something that I've looked into in regards to my career is digital marketing. I'm really interested in like social media and like the whole creative side of business. And I'm also really passionate about like the fashion and the beauty industry. So maybe like one of my long-term goals is to hopefully get into either of those industries and work in the marketing side of things.
Shout out to Alondra. She also manages our high potential Instagram social media platform. So yes, you're an inspiration to all of us, Alondra. Who's up next?
I can go. So my name's Anahi Torres. My pronouns are she, her, hers. My major is business administration with a double concentration in finance and data analytics. I haven't completely decided which career path I want to take because I can do many different things with this degree, right? Mm-hmm. So my idea right now is either go into wealth management and be a financial advisor, or go into the corporate America, most likely into corporate finance, but I'm also working for HP Inc. right now, and I've explored other departments, so I'm kind of open right now.
Big things, big things. Who's up next?
I can go. So hi everyone, my name is Diego. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a third year here on campus, and I am majoring in psychology. And as far as what I'm planning to do career-wise after that, it's a little bit up in the air, but I've started definitely looking into looking into educational counseling, whether that is at the high school or collegiate level. So I've been definitely looking into that, whether I want to become a school psychologist.
Awesome. Thank you, Diego.
Hi, I'm Ashley Hernandez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am majoring in psychology with a concentration in clinical and counseling. I'm a second year. I don't know if I said that. I'm a second year. I'm for my career, I plan to get my master's and to become a child and family therapist.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
I'm Chris Gutierrez. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a second year. My major is business administration with a concentration in finance. What career paths? To be honest, I have no idea yet, but like something I've been thinking about is like a project manager, just similar to like my brother. So yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Hi, I'm Arturo Fernandez. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a second year student and my major is kinesiology with a focus on exercise science. Career paths, I think I want to be either a physical therapist or a sports trainer or personal trainer, something like that.
Awesome. Thank you, Arturo.
I'm Sinclair Lee. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a third year and I'm a sociology and ethnic studies double major. And career paths are very much up in the air because there's a lot that I could do. But I really, in the future, want to work with underrepresented communities, in particular, either first generation students or the Black community. I'm also kind of looking into social work and exploring all the different areas that I can have a concentration in that. So possibly doing family social work or correctional social work, working with incarcerated people. So
beautiful. Keeping the options open, Sinclair. I love it. Yes. Awesome. Was that everybody? Yes. No, Daisy. There you are, Daisy.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Daisy Guzman, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I am currently a second year, and I'm planning, or I always mess this up. When I was recording for my intro video, I would be like, and I'm planning on studying, and I'm like, I'm already studying it. I'm studying psychology with a concentration in counseling and music as well. And with that, I want to be a college counselor, high school counselor. I'm still not sure. And with music, I have no idea. I feel like there's too many possibilities to choose right now.
Daisy's going to take my role when I retire. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for introducing yourselves, telling us a little bit about why you're exploring certain careers. So my next question to you all, and I think that your audience is eager to know, what was your individual experience during your first year at St. Mary's? So what was your first year experience like? They're smiling and they're laughing because they got to go back a minute. They got to think about this for a minute, right?
I can go. Like what? Just like a summary or like a good thing, a bad thing?
Yeah. What was your experience like? Like, what do you remember about your first year? And that can be like the pros and cons. I don't know.
All right, we'll start from the beginning. So, so I started obviously in sales, but it was in person. So we all lived together, which was a different experience. But basically, before I even started St. Mary's, I was like, all right, I need to drop out because like I could not afford to go to St. Mary's. Like, I don't know if you all have looked at your bill, but like I did not realize how much money it was to go to St. Mary's and how much money that I did not have or my parents did not have. So anyways, I struggled my first couple months, had a bunch of mental breakdowns about this financial situation.
Yes.
But eventually I figured it out, so it worked out. But my first year experience, I think, was good. I had a good roommate. I mean, we weren't BFFs, but like we got along, so it was like, you know, it was like, all right. And one thing I would say is getting involved helped me my first year. I think really like the experiences at St. Mary's is what you make it. So if you're like, okay, this is kind of hard because it's COVID, but like I was gonna say, if you're sitting in your room all day, like, but yeah, definitely try to connect with people even in the virtual world, because I think it really impacts, you know, how you feel, and also it can benefit your academics. So yeah, that's what I have to say about my first year.
Can I just add a follow-up question, Anahi, for you?
Yeah, sure.
You said you figured things out. Can you explain to folks what did you figure out? Like, how did you do it?
I didn't want to write a whole novel, but like I'll go into it. So yeah, so I mean, well, I'm just gonna, you know, whatever, come out. But like, I'm a DACA student, so I wasn't given any state funding from any state scholarships, federal loans. Literally, I had no way to get extra money to go to school. So basically, everything that my parents were to pay was going to have to be, I got a Cal Grant, which is the only thing that you can get if you're undocumented. So that helped me, but obviously it's like 60 plus to go to St. Mary's. So it was like nothing because the max Cal Grant is like 9,000. But I basically, what I did is I applied to tons of scholarships. I went into financial aid. I talked to the first financial aid counselor was trash. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, he was trash, and he told me that I wasn't gonna be able to do it, and to basically told me to drop out. But I went to a second financial aid counselor, and I talked to her, and she was super helpful, and she was like, "All right, here are your options, and this is the money that." Or different scholarships that are private scholarships, so that you can, the school, it isn't funded to the school, but like people donate to the school to give money to students. So like I was able to tap into that fund. So yeah, applying to tons of scholarships, talking with financial aid. And then at the end of my first year, I was still struggling. I had to pull out a private loan, which was a whole other process with like a bank, because that was the only way I could get a loan. And then I still was struggling, so I applied for the resident advisor position, which is a leadership position on campus that you live on campus and you take care of the residence halls and all the residents, and you do programming and things, but you get free housing. You can't do this position as a first year, but you, as a second year, you can apply, or going into your second year, you can apply for it. And basically that saved my life, took off like $15K off of my bill, or like $18K, something like that. So it was a pretty huge help, and that's kind of why I'm still here. So with scholarships, the help of financial aid, going into financial aid and crying all the time pretty much is how I got those scholarships, and then the resident advisor position.
That's what she means about doing things, handling things. Thank you, Anahi, for sharing those details. Super, super important. Who's going to go next? Your experience during your first year at St. Mary's, what was it like? How was it? We want to know.
So my first year was stressful, to say the least. It was rough for me to transition and go into college, and then even that, because like coming out of high school, I didn't really see myself going into college, so just being here was different. It was stressful to kind of like transfer into different, like just being able to transfer into doing my own work and being able to be more responsible and manage myself was difficult, and it's something that I still struggle on, but it's like getting better over time. Sorry, I was reading the thing.
It was a struggle. It was stressful.
It was just, a lot of it is stressful. It was stressful with the transition, but also like being able to kind of like figure out how you want to like manage yourself, how you want to live your life, how you want to kind of like
Yeah.
be productive in your own way. And that was something new, not something everyone tells you when you go to college is like, and everyone says time management, but like once you actually have to do it, it's a whole different thing.
Absolutely.
And that's just something that I struggled with. But otherwise, like it's like Anihi said, it's like you get what you put into it. Like if you really put into it and you put in the work and you really try to make it more fun and more enjoyable and get like something out of it, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Diego. Who's next?
I can go. So I would describe my first year as like somewhat of a roller coaster. Um, I'm just gonna be really honest. I made my fair share of poor college choices. Um, you're on your own for the first time and you're surrounded by all these new people. And depending on who you surround yourself with, you're gonna be influenced to make certain decisions. And I very quickly learned that the decisions I was making were holding me back in my academics. And very quickly I learned that and I decided to like stop socializing with certain people and really just had to pull myself out of a little hole my first semester. And then I think like Jan term came around and I had just come home from winter break, which was like a 3-week break of just being at home. And I felt really, really homesick. And so like for the first 2 days of Jan term, I like really like couldn't get out of bed because I like missed my family so much. My roommate would have to like drag me out. But I ended up loving my Jan term class, and it was like my favorite thing ever. It was a math class, but it was really fun. And then my second semester got better, and I really just learned to lean on my HP community and like my peer mentor, and really just like telling her like what was actually happening, and like just being really honest and open with her, because once I did that, I wasn't alone and I wasn't struggling by myself, and I had someone to hold me accountable. So, yes, that was my first year. It was really fun.
Beautiful. Thank you, Frida. I love the realness. Let's keep it rolling. Who's next?
Oh, I can go. So I'm a second year now, so I just got out of my first year. It was pretty crazy. I was first couple months I was homesick like crazy. I wanted to drop out of St. Mary's. I literally could not do it. I would tell Shar every time I met her, I was like, I don't want to be here. I can't do it. And she was just so like inspirational. I was like, you can do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I can. And then I would meet with my peer mentor and she would tell me the same thing. And I was like, you know what? I gotta get myself in the whole game. So I started really focusing on my classes. I started looking for jobs on campus. I was able to get 2 jobs on campus. And then I started really focusing on my dance class that I was doing, and now I'm part of the club and part of the exec team, which is really nice. And then that was all in the fall, and then Jan term, cool, more homesickness. Then I got better and it was all good. And I was super excited to be at school, and then COVID hit. And I had to go home. So here we are. But it was a great experience and I love it. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Ashley. Who's next?
I can go next. For me, my first year was like 3 years ago, so it's like I have to really go back.
Way back.
But from what I remember is when I was first coming in, I did Rise, I didn't do SAILS. But I remember when I was first going to come in and move in for Rise, I was really nervous. And I actually have anxiety, and I've struggled with it since high school. So I personally thought that I wasn't going to be able to handle being in college. And my mom also was like really worried for me. And she honestly didn't want me to come to college. She wanted me to stay home and take classes over there. But I was determined to, step out of my comfort zone and give it a try. And I mean, I'm here today now. I didn't think I was going to be able to handle it. I'm almost done with my 4 years here at St. Mary's. But in the beginning, it was hard getting used to like my new life and being independent and being on my own. There were rough times throughout the year, like with my anxiety and all of that, just because I'm just a nervous person in general. So it was rough at times. But like Anahi says, we will figure it out as time goes by. And I remember mostly being always in my room, being consumed in like my schoolwork, and I didn't really take time for like myself or for like my social life or like self-care. So that's one thing that I like recommend that you do is really take care of yourself and make time for yourself, because I didn't do that. I mean, I did have fun, I did, you know, make friends and stuff, but I really wish I put myself out there a little bit more and got more involved, looking back, because now I'm almost done with my 4 years here, and I'm still yet to be as involved as I want to be. So I just have 1 year left, and I have to, you know, catch up now. But yeah, overall it was a great first year, but it definitely got better as like the years went by.
Wow. Thank you. Took me back those 3 years too. You've come a long way, Alondra. We're very proud of you. Thanks for sharing.
I can go next. I feel like similar to Alondra, I wasn't really like when I first started college. I wasn't really putting myself out there, like interacting with anyone or like trying to like I tried to play soccer, but then I was like so focused on school, or I was telling myself that like school is like everything for like the first month or two, and I wouldn't like go outside my room. I wouldn't really like hang out with anyone, and yeah, it was kind of tough. Those first 2 months were like really boring and like depressing for me, but I feel like after that, uh, I started getting better. I would like tell everything to Shar and my mentor last year, so that was really helpful. Like they helped me, get better, get myself out there, start going out, like go to the gym, go play soccer, do everything I can to be out there. Because school is like obviously the most important thing, but you also have to have like your yourself time to like work on yourself and have fun with other people. So
Absolutely.
yeah, as time went on, I started doing that more, and the year got better. And then COVID hit, so yeah.
And then COVID, boom. But you did find a balance, and
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. Like school is important, and that I think for a lot of folks that is a priority, but you definitely you make a good point there. You need that balance. It can't always all just be about school, right? You got to take some time for yourself. Great, Arturo. Thank you so much. Who's next?
I'll go next.
What's up,
Oh,
Chris?
Sinclair, you can go. Go for it,
Go,
Sinclair.
Chris.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay, I'll go. Similar to Alondra and Arturo, my first year, I was very focused on academics, especially in my first semester. Coming out of high school, I had like an overall GPA that was really high, so I wanted to like keep that momentum going. So I felt like I couldn't socialize at all. So I mostly just left my room to go to class and to get food. And I wasn't really engaging in much of anything. I like kind of went to HP events, kind of went to some other on-campus events, but I didn't really want to be there, and it was kind of like I don't want to make friends. I just want to get through these 4 years. But that was kind of lonely and kind of sucked, honestly, just constantly being in the room, focusing only on school. So in my second semester, I started to actually like go to more HP events and start looking at ways to get involved on campus. And that's when I started going to BSU meetings more with my roommate. And so I got like more involved there and ended up becoming part of that exec team. And then I also applied to be a mentor so that I could be more involved with the HP community and so that I wouldn't have to feel so lonely. And that helped me tremendously. I felt like if I hadn't gotten involved on campus, I probably wouldn't have stayed at St. Mary's. So yeah.
thank you, Sinclair. All right, Chris.
My first year, it was kind of like what everyone said. It was like a roller coaster basically. Like first couple of months, I joined club soccer to make friends. It was going good. Like during practice and stuff, I would talk, but then like afterwards, I was just focused on school because like the money wise was like really expensive for me my first year. Like Anahi said, like I was just stressing about the money. But then my first meeting with Shar and my mentor, I was able to just like vent out, and like that really helped. Like that's why I'm like able to be here at St. Mary's because of HP. Like HP like really helps you to like just be able to like let your feelings out basically, and like someone's there for you. Like you're gonna be heard from like everyone in HP. And like that's why like it's really like good to be in HP because I don't know, I'm really grateful for my mentor and everyone in HP and my coach. Yeah, so like if it wasn't for that, like I would like not be like who I am. Like I wouldn't be an HP mentor like right now. Like I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Shar, I would not be here. But like besides that, like if like my first year, it's like what Alondra said, self-care. Like I realized like how important that is. Like I was stressful. Like I was like depressed basically because of my academic. Like I was like I need to do good, but like I realized like towards like the middle of the semester, like self-care is really important too. And
Yeah.
like I started working out and just like having time on my own and like hanging out with people and like that really helped. Just like realize school is important, but also taking care of yourself is just as important.
Great. Thank you, Chris. Chris also forgot to mention that he put in a lot of work. So he is where he is right now because he put the work in. He put the time and the effort and the energy. So we're proud. We're very proud of you, Chris. Was that everybody?
No.
Ooh, Daisy! I'm sorry, Daisy.
It's okay. My first year, like everyone's saying, it's kind of like ooh. I started off all right. I feel like I started to get sidetracked because I didn't really um focus on the things I needed to focus on. I was focusing on other things and making some bad choices. Not bad, but like not making the right ones, if you will. Um but then like when I got to that very low point, I like met up with Shar and like she just like she told it to me straight. She was like, "You're here for a reason. You can do it." And like it just really helped. And yeah, like every time I would just fall, I would go to Shar and she had my back. So that really helped. And um yeah, it was a lot of just putting your priorities straight, like what are you going to prioritize?
Yeah.
And taking care of yourself, definitely.
Very important. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your experiences and perspectives. And I think a lot of folks, this is very helpful just to hear like what that first year was like coming to a new environment. And I know a lot of transfer students will be able to relate as well, just coming into a brand new environment. It's important to share these experiences and know that you're not alone. You have a community that has that understanding of what it's like to one be first gen, two like come to a new environment, three transition into like the whole college system, if you will. It's not easy, there's definitely challenges, but look at where you're all at right now. And I think your audience can get a sense for like the work that you've put in and that you worked really hard to get where you're at right now. So yes, well done to all of you. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. We probably have time for maybe 2 more questions. So my next question is related to your roles as peer mentors. So can you let the audience know how many years you've been a peer mentor and why did you pursue this specific leadership position?
I can start. So I've been a peer mentor completely 1 year, and this will be starting in my 2nd year. And why I became a mentor. So what kind of like led me to the role was, well, one, like I said earlier, I struggled my first year, and what really kind of kept me like here and what kept me on track was my connection to the high potential program, whether it was Jazzy, my beautiful mentor, love her. She really helped me get through it, and just how like she helped support me and kept me going was a really big impact. But also Shar and the rest of the community and being able to go to events and tutoring sessions and socials and stuff really kept me like grounded to the campus and grounded to here to St. Mary's. So yeah, that's mainly why I wanted to become a mentor, to be able to give back all that support that I've already gotten, all that support that was given to me, and hopefully give that back to future mentees and future SMC generations.
Awesome. Thank you, Diego.
I can go next. So this will be my second year being a peer mentor. So similar to Diego, I've only been a peer mentor for 1 full year. But one reason why I wanted to be a peer mentor was because my first year, there was no one really in STEM to really understand, I guess, what I was going through and just what exactly it's really like to be a first generation college student in the STEM program. So that's one reason why I wanted to be a peer mentor, because I wanted to offer my insight and my experience. And also, similar to Diego, is just paying it forward to the community that really helps me get through my first year and helped me stay here at St. Mary's.
Beautiful. Thank you, Frida. Who's up next? Daisy. I think you should go. Daisy.
Yeah.
You should go.
I don't like going because then I feel like I interrupt someone, so then I'm like, I'm just going to wait. All right. What's the question?
How many years have you been a peer mentor, and why did you decide to pursue this specific leadership role?
Okay. So this is going to be my first year as a peer mentor. I'm so excited. But I decided to become a peer mentor because I really enjoy helping others. It's like a genuine passion that I have. If I can help you out, I'm so happy doing so. And also because I know how beneficial it can be to talk to someone, and I want to be there for all of my mentees and all of HP, and HP has helped me so much. So that was definitely a big reason for why. And also the bonus was that it does help me in my career path. So getting that experience in is really beneficial for my career as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Daisy.
I can go. I am a second year peer mentor. I became a peer mentor similarly to others. I said, I really struggled at the beginning of my first year. So if it wasn't for HP, I always say this, but if it wasn't for HP, I wouldn't be here. And definitely the community, you'll get to know what HP is like, but everyone's so supportive and here for each other. And it's just a really cool it's really cool to be a part of this program at St. Mary's. You'll get to see that, you get to find where you fit in at St. Mary's, but I feel like almost everyone that comes into HP really feels the love and the support and the community that's in this program. So I just really wanted to give back to a program that gave so much to me my first year. So that's why I became a peer mentor.
Awesome.
Also because I love talking to people, and I think it would be great to create some new relationships.
Yeah.
With the first years. Yeah.
Paying it forward. We love it. Thank you, Annie.
I can go. So for me, growing up, I had no one to talk about my emotions, how to get into college. I didn't have anyone. And then I was like, okay, when I'm older, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for the kids that were like me. I'm not going to let them not know anymore or not feel like they can't talk about their emotions. I'm going to let that happen. So then when I came to St. Mary's, I was the HP program, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what I want to do. And then I had such a great experience with my peer mentor, and I really saw the benefits of the peer mentor program as well as just the HP program. And I was like, I love this program with my whole heart. I want to give back. I want to do everything I can for them. So then I decided to become a peer mentor, and I'm so excited, and I love this program. And I can't wait for all of you guys to be in this program and have an amazing time.
Thank you, Ashley.
I can go. This is gonna be my first year being a peer mentor, but I think I wanted to be a peer mentor first off because Shar told me that I'd be pretty good at it.
Oh, I told you that you had to, didn't I?
Yeah, she forced
yeah.
me. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, I didn't know anything about college like before coming into it. Like none of my parents went. No one in my family had really gone or like told me anything about what it would be like. So that's why the first couple of months were like really tough for me, being at St. Mary's. But my mentor really helped me, and I just wanted to be like able to give that back to someone. And I like to listen to people, you know, give advice. I feel like I give decent advice. So yeah.
Quality advice, decent. He
Quality.
gives quality advice, folks. Thank you, Arturo.
I'll go next. I've been being a peer mentor for like 3 weeks now, I think. Yeah, 3 weeks. What was that? Why did I become a peer mentor? Oh, I became a peer mentor. Like I said already, Shar and my peer mentor were like the GOAT in my life during my first year. They really helped me, especially Shar. Like she's like, I can't even explain how like helpful. Like she didn't pay me to say this, by the way. She didn't pay me. I'm saying it because she like really helped me, and I became a peer mentor so I can give back. Like my peer mentor Aniki, she really helped me a lot throughout my first year. Like I had a lot of like problems with my roommate, and she was able to like help me like figure it out, like what to do and how to like fix the conflict that I had. Also, Shar did too, and I just want to be able to give that back to all of you guys. And yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Last person. So forget about me, Shar. But this is gonna be my second year being a peer mentor. So I've already been a peer mentor for 1 year. Similar reasons to everyone else. I became a peer mentor because I know the HP community has really helped me like transition in my first year. I know this is very cliche and everyone else has said it too, but if it wasn't for HP, like I wouldn't be here. I don't know how I would have navigated college. Many of us don't have like the resources at home and don't really know how to navigate, you know, college, especially being a first-time student. But definitely I've created bonds, and for me, HP is like my second family. So I definitely wanted to give back and help those first-year students who went through or are going through what I went through, and give that quality advice. And another reason is I just want to gain more professional skills, especially like being in the business industry and, you know, getting those leadership skills as well. So I really want to just develop professionally as well as like give back to my HP community.
Great. Thank you so much, Alondra. Appreciate it. Okay.
Wait, I didn't answer the question.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry again.
So this is my second year being a mentor, and I think one of the reasons why I became a mentor was just like seeing how much everyone in HP like cares for everyone, like all the coaches, all the mentors. They're constantly there to support you no matter what. Like it doesn't matter what the time of day is. I always felt supported, and every time I felt like I didn't belong at St. Mary's, either my mentor or my coach was like, you belong here, there's a reason why you're here, and reminded me of all the reasons and all the strengths that I had. And I just wanted to be that for someone else. So yeah.
Thank you, Sinclair. Oh my goodness. See, this is why it's so difficult virtually because I can't see everyone's faces. So I'm like, sorry, I promise not to do it again. So we're at 2:44 right now. We have time for just one last quick question, and then I'm going to open it up for discussion with the audience. But the last question is, what is one thing you wish you knew and you want incoming students to know before you started SMC? So this could just be like a tip or some advice, but what's something you wish you knew before you started your journey at St. Mary's?
I'll go. Professors aren't as scary that like you. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. Like high school teachers, I feel like try to like intimidate you or like scare you to think like professors in college are really scary, but they're not. They're actually really nice and they're there for you and they know each and every one of your guys' names, especially since the classes are really small. So yeah.
I can go. Something that I wish I knew, and I want to extend this out to the incoming mentors, is I wish I knew it was okay for me to ask help and kind of anything that I needed. And I wish I knew I wish, not that I wish I knew, but I wish I was more confident in that and being able to ask for help. I know it was definitely like a struggle for me reaching out and asking for help. And then, like Chris said, reaching out and asking help from professors. Like professors are very kind, but it's not even that. You can always reach out for help from mentors or your coach, or really you can reach out and help from the IC. There's a lot of different programs here on campus that are very willing to help and very willing to give you support as long as you ask for it and you show interest in it. So really putting myself out there, I wish I knew to put myself out there and ask for that. And I hope that the mentees this coming year know that and can do that. It's something I wish I knew.
Awesome. That was a big one, Diego. Thank you for sharing that.
I can say that from experience, I've always been a procrastinator with like my work and stuff. I think what I wish I knew is that that's not always going to cut it with a lot of the work that you get assigned. Like it's way bigger workloads than I had ever had, like in high school. Like it was a big jump in the amount of work that I had to do and studying and stuff. Like I still procrastinate here and there, but I shaved down the timing like way more than I had in high school. High school I skimmed by, but in these classes you actually have to like try to get your work done ahead of time because then it starts to pile up way more than before.
It's real. Thank you, Arturo.
Going off of what Arturo just mentioned, one thing that I wish I knew is just like the workload and just like I don't know how to say it, like it's like low-key like a lot harder than high school. I got really good grades throughout high school and I was expecting to get really good grades like super easy peasy throughout college, and that was not the case. And a lot of it is mental. I do think I psyched myself out a lot in the very beginning. And so I did struggle with like imposter syndrome and feeling like I didn't belong. So I think going back to what Diego said too, is just like knowing that it's okay to ask for help. And if you don't know how to ask for help, just admit that to yourself. I did not know how to ask for help. I found everything in high school super easy. So when I came to college, I literally did not know how to ask for help. I didn't know who to go to. So just asking for help. It's okay to not know.
It's okay to not know. Thank you, Frida.
One thing I wish I knew was that it's okay to take time for yourself. I know academics is really important. It's a huge portion of going to college, but just, knowing that it's okay to take time for yourself and learning how to manage your time better is something that I wish I knew. Because like I mentioned earlier, my first year I was very consumed into the workload and I just didn't manage time as well as I do now and put time for my own self-care. So yeah, just that one thing, know that it's okay to take time for yourself.
Thank you.
I think for me, one thing I wish I knew was like time management, because burnout is real in college. And kind of like similar to what Frida was saying, in high school, I did really well and I didn't really plan for anything. I procrastinated a lot. But then coming into college and seeing the different workload, it was not as easy to procrastinate. And so I think for me, it was just like time management and knowing that you need a planner or a way to plan out things, whether it's Google Calendars or a whiteboard, anything really. But like making sure you know your schedule and know where you need to be.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sinclair.
Okay. Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay. Something I wish I did before, that it's okay to advocate for yourself and it's okay to make your professor pay attention to you. I was always like, oh, I want them to teach the class. I don't want to bother them. I was always in my head, I don't want to bother them. And it wasn't until later when I really got close to one of my professors that I was like, no, if I keep asking, I see what's happening. My grade is getting better and better because I keep talking to them. I keep learning from them. So just like fighting for you because you're paying to be here. You're here for a reason. You want to do the best you can. And talking to your teachers and advocating for yourself is 100% what you got to do.
I love to hear it. Yes. Okay, two more, right? Two more? One more?
So I think one of the things I wish I knew was it's okay not to be okay. Like, it's fine. There's going to be situations where you're just going to be like, I'm over it. I'm done. Like, this sucks. I don't want to be here. I just want to go cry. But it's okay. You know, it's okay to be there. You're going to get there eventually, but as long as as long as you know that you have the strength to get back up and like the resiliency to do so, everything's going to be fine.
Thanks, Daisy.
Man, I've been sitting here trying to think of something for the longest time.
All my ideas.
So many things came to my mind, but I'm like, oh, what's a good one? You know, I'm like super like overthinking my response. I guess it'll be hard if you don't live on campus. It's just like a different situation right now. So like I'm trying to give the best advice given the situation. But like for me, I guess it would be like choose your friends wisely, I guess, because I feel like first years like they struggle, like they come into college and like you're trying to make all these friends, right? And you're like going out there or not going out there. Some people don't go out there. But like, you know, making sure you're surrounding yourself with people that make you better, not people that are, you know, gonna bring you down, because at the end of this, like college, like you're here for yourself, right? Like it's cool to have, you know, your friends, like you'll have fun, like you'll go out, whatever. But really just make sure that you keep centered in what's important to you and like not to let other people change you in ways that you obviously don't want to be changed. And so that is my advice.
Wow. That's real.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
One thing that I learned my first year was that I didn't have the luxury of just like I literally could not afford to not do well in a class. So if I wanted to spend my weekends like partying and, you know, having fun and not studying and then going and failing an exam, like I didn't have the luxury of just like being like, okay, I'm just going to drop the class. Like I had to pass my classes. And that's like a struggle that I feel like a lot of first generation college students go through. Like we can't afford to just like brush things off and like, you know, oh, we'll try again, or we'll do it a different way next time, or like we'll just retake the course, because that's money and that's a lot of money. So definitely surrounding yourself with the right people and people that have similar goals as you.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, peer mentors, for really just sharing your perspectives, really putting things into perspective. To our audience, our HP peers, hopefully this was helpful to you all. We have a couple of minutes left, so I would really like to just open up the space. If any of you have any questions or anything you want to ask individual peer mentors, we would really like to hear your thoughts, or maybe just how you're absorbing all this information. I'm going to open it up to the rest of you, and please feel free to chime in. We'll give you a few moments. We got a question in the chat box from Lizette Navarro. What was your hardest class so far? And I guess this is just open to whoever wants to popcorn out.
For me, it was Gen Chem my first semester, and then like into my second semester. I think it's like hard because, well, for me it was hard because it was the first, like, it was my first class of the day, and it was a STEM class, and I had no idea what to expect, no idea like how the professor was going to go about it. And then he decided that his class was a flipped classroom, which means that you watch the lecture at home, and then you go to class and you do worksheets and like work on assignments. And so, like I said earlier, like I think I really psyched myself out and convinced myself that like I didn't understand flipped classrooms. So that was definitely my hardest class, and I think that's probably true for a lot of people. Gen Chem gives everyone a hard time, I feel like.
Anahi. Oh, thank you, Frida. Anahi said for business majors, managerial accounting with Professor Merrill.
It was the worst experience of my life. Not that the material itself was hard, but he just made it so much more worse. Or so much, what? I can't even speak English right now. So much worse.
Sometimes it's not the course, it's not the material. The material is fine. Sometimes it is the teaching style of the professor.
Yeah, it did not work for me, and it was the hardest semester of my life, so.
Yeah, you made it through.
Yeah, I like similar to Anai's experience. I think my hardest class was the Bible and its interpretation, not because of the material, because I know I've been through to like a Catholic school since kindergarten, so I know like the material, but it was just different with my professor. He was just very like a critical grader, and like he just made it much more difficult than it had to be. And my favorite class was Introduction to Biology. I haven't had that many classes, so.
Nice. We have another question here from Alex. What other communities / clubs are you all involved in on campus? So we can just kind of popcorn them out. What are some other communities or clubs you're all involved with?
Well, I was involved with OLG my first year. I wasn't able to do it last year for scheduling reasons, but I know that's fun, which OLG stands for Our Lady of Guadalupe, which is fun, especially for the Latinx students on campus. Yeah.
Okay, others?
I can go. I have a list. So I love like involvement, and since high school, like I've always been the type of person to like do everything, which is a good and a bad thing, because like sometimes I can't say no and then I get really overwhelmed. But anyways, I am a part of I'm a resident advisor, like I said, so I work for residential experience, so living in the residence halls, that kind of thing. And then I also did my first and second year, I did associated students, which is like student government or ASB, whatever you called it at your high school. It's like that kind of thing, but it's a lot more legislative, actually making change on campus, totally different than high school, which is like more school spirit based. But yeah, I did that as well. And then within business, I'm a part of the finance club, the Gale Women in Business, and the Latinx Business Student Association.
Whew.
Another way you can get involved in campus, and one way that I decided to get involved in campus, was your second year, you can join living learning communities. So there's a sustainability one, so they focus on like being sustainable, and you have like a quarter credit class, and so you meet with the people that you're living with. I joined the Lasallian community, so it was really focused on the Lasallian 5 core principles. And that really helped me because it's not faith-based, but a lot of the people in the community are religious or like practice their faith. So that was something that like really helped me my second year and really helped me like find my people. So highly recommend living learning communities.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are at time, folks, with a minute left. I just want to say thank you to the Peer Mentor panel. We appreciate you taking the time to answer these questions and share your perspectives, advice, thoughts, feelings. To the audience, HB peers, hopefully this was helpful to you all. And just thank you for listening and asking questions. It doesn't stop here. We'll definitely have more opportunities like this session today to get advice from peer mentors and or coaches, and just giving you all a little bit more time to share thoughts. But I know we're at time. It's 3 p.m. Right now we have a 30-minute break. And then right after that, there is an hour for peer mentor office hours. So if you have any questions,